murky dawn reveals what might have been the greatest tragedy in sea annals. The luxury liner Andrea Doria lies almost on her side after a collision with the Swedish Liner Stockholm in dense fog 45 miles off Nantucket Island. A 45-foot gash in her side was cut as the Stockholm's icebreaker bow knifed into her hull. The Stockholm, her bow completely smashed, limps back into New York under her own steam, carrying 500 of the Andrea Doria survivors in addition to her own 550 passengers and 500 crew. Rescue vessels in the Times Square of transatlantic shipping lanes were on the scene, preventing an appalling loss of life. Seriously injured are flown by helicopter to Nantucket, among them an 8-year-old girl. 4 are known to have been killed outright in the disaster. It is the beginning of the end for the 29,000-ton vessel, which cost $29 million to build, as the water is strewn with the belongings of her 1,134 passengers. 11 hours after the tragedy, the proud liner is nearing her final moments as a Coast Guard cutter stands helplessly by. Going down with the Andrea Doria are examples of modern Italian art worth $1 million by themselves. As though reluctant to die, she lies awash for minutes before the death blow is dealt. At last, the inexorable sea claims a gallant ship. Meanwhile, into New York Harbor steams the Ile-de-France with 758 survivors after heroic rescue work in the night and darkness. Many of the victims were separated from families during rescue operations by 5 ships, but this large family group was lucky and remained together. Among the many heroes is Captain Raoul de Baudien of the Ile-de-France and his radio operator. Some of the less seriously injured are rushed to New York hospitals as bewildered and stunned but thankful survivors stream down the gangplank after a night of horror. The dock is crowded with anxious relatives and friends, where a disaster aid station has been set up. Mother and child, happy to be once again on dry land. Many of the survivors are still in a state of shock after a frightful, grinding impact of 48,000 tons of steel colliding. On the pier, relatives of 1,600 passengers seek their loved ones, not knowing on which rescue ship they are arriving. Indeed, a miracle, with 2,500 persons cheating the sea of its prey.